Okay, we're in SolidWorks. We're going to take on the Level 1 Final Exam Assembly Motions in Chapter 11, page 11-27. So I'm going to go ahead and open the assembly motions. So under the authors folder, which I've put a copy in my folder, I'm going to take on assembly motions, and we're going to see if we can put this guy together. Quick review while we're in here. Take a look at this, and we notice that this has an F next to the main housing, which is telling us that that's a fixed part. We may want to make that float or move or fix another part along the way. We'll take a look at that as we go. We can also turn things on and off to make this assembly go a little bit smoother. So let's start by putting all of these gears in place. So I'm going to go to my mate and select the cylindrical feature here and here. It's going to line those up concentrically. We want to take this guy and mate it with the bottom of this one. Alright, one down. The green gear is going to get, I'm going to mate it to this piece first because we need to make sure that we line up that keyway. So again, select my cylindrical feature, select this guy. It's going to make them concentric. Before I mate those two faces, I want to make sure that we line up this keyway. We could do a with mate or we can do a parallel mate. Either one of those will work. Probably simpler to just do a parallel mate. We can even select the other side. Select parallel. That's okay. Then we'll come in here and select this face and this face. Line those guys up. Alright, I'm going to pause the video and just put that other gear in place. Okay, I've got both of the purple gears on. I've got the green gear on here. And now we're going to put those two together. So I'm going to take this cylindrical feature, line it up with this guy. I'm going to select the face of this gear and have it sit on this face right here. And we've got things lined up. I'm going to get out of the mate command for a moment. Let's click here and I'm just going to suppress that feature for a moment just so it's not in the way. It's going to be a little bit easier for us to see what we're doing here. So we're going to line these gears up and hopefully have them working together. And the author has had kind of demonstrated in the rack and pinion mates a way to selecting the surfaces, but we're going to actually do a gear count so we get the right ratio so that they spin. So let's go ahead and jump into mates. We're going to switch from standard mates to mechanical mates, and we're going to jump into our gear mate command. Now we've got to select the two, it's asking for the faces, but I'm going to select just two circular features of each of these gears, and I'll show you how we're going to get the timing to work on them, because there's no pitch diameter circle to select in these sketches. So I'm going to just select this circular feature and this circular feature. Alright, and notice that it's got the teeth and diameter. It's thinking that those are correct. We're going to change that in our command. So instead of the ratio showing up here, I'm going to count the number of teeth on each gear and type them in as our ratio. Then we're going to try to line up the teeth and see if they work. Alright, so if I counted correctly, the larger gear has 22 and the smaller one has 10. So this was the larger circle that I selected, so I'm going to put 22 in here and put 10 in here. Hit OK. Let's just see if those two move together. Now, we may get some funky things going on because, yeah. Alright, so this part is not fixed right now. So I'm going to go ahead and fix this part temporarily so it doesn't move. And let's see how those, yeah. So those gears are moving, but you can see that the teeth are not lined up with each other, but they are spinning at the right ratio. So what we can do is we can come down in here into mates. We can temporarily suppress that mate, go in and line up our gears. Something's not right with that gear. I must not have put a cylindrical mate between these two, so I need to fix that first. So let's do that. Go to Assemble, go to Mate, cylindrical between these two. Those should be concentric. What happened here? Concentric mate. Here, here. There we go. Alright, try that again. Alright, so now if I line these guys up ahead of time so that my teeth look good, hit OK, and we come back down into our mates and I unsuppress that gear mate, these things should be rolling along in time. And they do. Alright, I'm going to let you rewind the video if you want and do the same thing to the other side and get that mate in there. Alright, you know, I might as well do it with you right now. So, alright, we're going to go back to mate. We're going to jump into advanced mates. Excuse me, mechanical mates. Select our gear. It's asking to clear this selection. So the first gear, again, any circular feature on this guy, oops, that's not going to work. Let's try this, try that again. That looks good. And select feature on this one, doesn't matter. And then what does matter is our ratio in here. Again, this is the big gear, 22. This is the little gear, 10. We hit OK. Now when we rotate, both gears should turn, and they do. We could again go in and suppress this mate and line up those gears so that they aren't occupying the same space. And then I can go in and unsuppress that, and that should work. Okay, we're going to have a quiz coming up on assemblies and mechanical mates, so I want to make sure that you're comfortable using that gear mate, making sure that you know how to set the ratio so that they spin in the right time. Let's take the rest of this and put this part together. So we got to finish up this assembly. Alright, so I'm going to mate. I want this part to be concentric with this guy, so I should be able to pick any feature here that's circular along with any circular feature here. Problem is both of those parts are currently fixed, so it's going to give me an error. I'm going to close out of that for a moment, and I need to unfix my end cap. There we go. Now I should be able to do that. Go back to mate, select that, and Okay, it flipped it over and I don't want it in that orientation. So I'm just going to come back here and flip it that way. Hit OK. And this guy can drag down below. If you remember, we've got another part that is currently suppressed. So we want to go ahead and unsuppress that guy so that we can finish putting this together. Actually, we want to put these two together first. And I think in order to put this together, it's going to be easier if we have a sectional view. So let's see which plane is going to help me out. Looks like this guy is. So I'm going to select the front plane. Select, I've got to get out of the make command for a moment. Select the sectional view. It's going to allow me to get inside here because I want to line up that tooth right there with that guy. So I'm going to hit OK on my selection. Okay, I've got coincident selected here. Let's see if I can select this edge, not the face, and this edge right here. Give me troubles here. Let's try that again. Maybe I'll select that face. There we go. So I've got the face coincident with the edge, and those things are clipped together. Hit OK. That looks good. We've got a part that's suppressed here, so we can unsuppress that part. See if everything is in the assembly as it should be. That looks good. And now, if we rotate the top here, we should be getting our gears moving around as shown. Looks good. All right, so on the next page, the author wants us to create a section view with a sketch. So we're going to get started on that. Take a look to see if we can cut this open. All right, I'm going to get out of my normal sectional view and create a sketch. Select this surface. As always, I like to look normal to what I'm oops, sorry, looks like it already has that sketch in there. Just took a look at that. The author already has the sketch in there, so and it's suppressed. So we're just going to unsuppress that sketch. And there we go. So I guess it was already done for us. Take a look. All right, that wraps this guy up.